Hello everyone, so we just had the Trump and Zelensky talk on the White House. Yeah, that's correct. So a few hours ago, around 7 hours ago, we had Zelensky going to the White House, so flying from Ukraine to USA White House, and having a chat with his fellow colleague Donald J. Trump. As of course he planned this meeting, very urgent sort of meeting, because Donald Trump is planning this meeting very urgent because he's tired already of the ceasefire agreements and the peace agreement. But then these ceasefires, they agreed on that day, but then after a few days, a few months, they come back to fire. Okay, so they did sort of had this ceasefire back a few months ago, and then it just continues to be really bad at the moment. So Trump was, enough is enough, come here, let's talk and let's define a few things before we have a ceasefire, and we wanted something that is more guaranteed. So let's stop once and all this war. So of course we don't have much details on what they talked about, but there's a few topics, key topics covered. And the first one is the security guarantees in Ukraine. They also had a trilateral peace summit initiative from Trump. Third, they had also a territorial concession and a few controversial compromises. And fourth, there's the ceasefire versus the continued conflict. And five, last but not least, is the humanitarian priorities. Okay, so the ones that I think it's most important is number 2, 4, and 5. So basically, number 2 is the Trilateral Peace Summit Initiative. Someone coming with the initiative, but not only him. When I say him, is Trump. Not only Trump, but also Zelensky and Putin coming in together to stop this fire. The number 4 is the second most important, is the ceasefire versus a continued conflict. So Trump wants to dismiss the necessity of a ceasefire before the peace talks, and he's suggesting it could undermine long-term resolutions, because what he wants is he doesn't want a ceasefire. He wants to stop forever. He don't want Russia and Ukraine to stop fighting again. And 5, that's I would say the most important one, is of course the humanitarian priorities. Like Zelensky have highlighted the non-military concerns. Of course we have the military, of course we have like expenses going over on those wars, but Zelensky mentioned the non-military, and that means it's including the prisoners of war exchanges under all for all. Okay, so that means that it's an approach that we return. It's a safe approach that we return the children abducted during the conflict. So I think this is the most, like literally the most priority, because those children are not, they don't have, they don't want to be there. They were literally abstracted from the society and put this into like a sort of a jail, and they probably not giving any food for those children or anything like that. So it's really sad to see that happening. So in my opinion, that should be the first priority for sure. And also, some abductees and journalists that held in captivity. So these will be all gave it back. So this is really important. The number 5 for me, it's one of the most important ones. Okay, and also of course is stopping the war. Now that being said, they still in talks. Okay, so nothing have been decided yet. Donald Trump later posted on Truth Social that he had a really good conversation, and he thinks things will go pretty well onward. So let's keep watching. Let's see what are the next steps, what Trump will say, what Zelensky, what Putin will say. But it seems like that from beginning of this year to now, Zelensky is looking at with another lens, because he knew that Trump wouldn't help him to go against Russia. Trump wants both of them to be friends, and more than that, be friends with USA and be ready to make partnerships and business together, all of those three. Trump's not dumb. He knows that, of course, that if he gets 3 of them, so USA, Ukraine, and Russia, they have a really, really strong partnership to go around the world. in my opinion, of course, there's a lot more to happen. But coming back to Zelensky, I think Zelensky have changed his lens, because Zelensky, when first met with Trump back 3 to 4 months ago, he was like, I'm not going to stop, I'm going to continue this and that. So now it seems like he wants to stop, and he saw how bad this is getting, especially for his society. Being the president of a country, you want your society to be good. So I think these are the pretty big highlights that we had from the Trump and Zelensky discussion over the Monday on the White House. Cool. So now moving over, we're going to have Jackson Hole as well. That's going to be in Australia, on USA, sorry, it's going to be from the 20 to the 23rd, if I'm not wrong, or 22nd. In Australia, it's probably going to be on the 22nd to the 24th, so it's 1 day more. I'm not too sure where it's going to be on your time zone, but you can check that. Whatever time is on USA, just changes that to your time zone. I'm heading to the Jackson Hole with a very cautious tone, okay? There's definitely lots of things happening over the market, and we know that there's no chance of the Fed now probably cutting 150 basis point until December this year. So most likely what we're going to get is a 50, is a 75 basis point maximum. Okay, so people are believing that it's going to have huge cuts. It's going to be there's a time that the CME Fed Watch 2 were pricing 50 basis point. In my opinion, this is impossible, okay? Because we still have producer price index with inflationary pressures. So for that, if the PPI, if the job numbers, all of them came in much under than what was expected, then that's great. Most likely they would be able to have the 100 base points to 150 base points cut into December this year, okay? But now, as I say, heading very cautious about the Jack Hole summit, because I really want to understand the inflation path. I really want to understand the growth path. I want to understand how Trump will be into the next couple of years with that sort of, he still have hundreds of countries to make agreements. So there's all of those things that still be very, I would say the puzzle is, the pieces of the puzzle is all here. Now we need to start to put the puzzle together. And that's, we separated the puzzle. Now it's less confusion, still okay, but, less confusion than before, like beginning of this year. Now we need to put all of these puzzles together. With that, of course, US dollar can be very bearish. Okay, it's going to be pretty bearish heading into it. Risk currencies like Australia and New Zealand probably will gain some sort of strength. So Aussie against the US dollar, New Zealand against the US dollar could be potential long positions. Also, the euro could be a potential long position. Also, the pound could be a potential long position. US dollar, Japanese yen could be a short position, as the Japanese yen could strength. So these are my thinkings of how I'm heading into the Jackson Hole. Now, as I say, we don't have much time on the normal videos, but for that we do have the webinars every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So today is Tuesday, and we are having a webinar from 4 to 5 p.m. Sydney time. So if you want to join me, and if you want to know more about what Trump did discussion and how this will affect the market in the long term and the short term and the medium term, plus how the Jackson Hole how can you optimize the trade opportunities into Jackson Hole, come along today, 4 to 5 p.m. For you to join, you need to join the Telegram, all right? The link is on the description. So it's free. We don't charge anything. We don't ask for emails, nothing like that. You just join the Telegram. We're nearly hitting 310 members. So let's go to 320 members. It's a pretty big community. I send messages every single day about my analysis. And there's something really big coming as well. I'm looking to develop an AI model to do the analysis for you. So it's literally all my trading strategy. I'm training a model. I'm training an AI model that will give you for free everything that you need to use for that. Okay? Cool, let's get into that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up, and I see you tonight or I see you in the next video. Bye bye guys.